Nicole Marie from Water Valley. You guys know Nicole Marie, my amazing co-star, and we're super, super excited to have her with us. And, of course, Michael Hopkins out of Water Valley, Mississippi. Really great to have him with us as well. Now, the man who always helps us to anchor in the end of the week. That's why he's here on Thursdays and Fridays. We're talking about the one and only Dr. Paul Dyer. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy
Good morning
for everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hour.
Yes. So, so you know what, Dr. Dyer, I don't know if you heard any of this talk this morning, but this is something that I want to kind of delve into. We want to pick back up, everybody. So we'll get to some of the holiday talk in the next half hour. But first, I want to kind of jump in on this again. A lot of folks here at the Hair Radio Morning Show, you guys heard Cheryl Morrow, the great Willie Morrow's daughter. She's out in California, and she talked a lot about this when the National Institute, the NIH, everybody calls them NIH, released their big report and what they had found with all this research. And so I'm still reading. I think I even posted something this morning on social media about the lawsuits are now flying. And so, but there's so much to this. I mean, I hate to use the word layers, but there's so many layers to this that it is crazy. Yeah. And so, and Dr. Dyer, the thing that jumps out at me about the last time we kind of talked about this was that you asked a very pertinent question, in my opinion, and that was why do the women, if I recall correctly, I think you said, why do they straighten their hair? And so that was the thing that jumped out at me. But first, welcome again to the show, and any thoughts on that? Let's lead in with Dr. Dyer.
Yeah, welcome. And Spotsylvania is where Michael's from. You said
beautiful Spotsylvania, Virginia.
Yeah,
he says it every time.
Spotsylvania. but so I've been actually thinking about this, and I've gotten into also looking at some of the research, and then I looked at some of the off research that was not done by the NIH, and I was curious to why this was even done. Like, how did the research even come up? What was the purpose of someone studying? And then it dawned on me. But the African American community, the Black community, the melanin community has been the most studied community in history.
Interesting.
And
that's interesting all by itself, Dr. Dyer.
You what?
No, I said that's interesting all by itself. Great point.
Yeah. So because I know we don't trigger. I know that we, meaning the Black community, doesn't trigger the study. We don't be like, I wonder if we're getting uterine cancer. I wonder if we're getting this type of cancer. Just recently, Pennsylvania just apologized for doing test studies on prisoners that they didn't even know they were getting tested on. But this is nothing new. This is nothing new. This has been since the Tuskegee study. So what is happening to our young ladies, and are they trying to, because with this chemical straightener, it actually kills birthing. It hurts. So are they trying to keep sterilizing us? Is that what's really going on? So it's a scary thought. I think that's what's been on my mind.
Okay, so you're kind of thinking or looking at it perhaps, it sounds a little bit where someone could think it's a little bit more conspiratorial, if you will. But I'll tell you something. These are things and thoughts that we have in this community because, you bring up a lot of valid points. This has been out there. And, yes, you don't have to look far. But I love what you said. I'm going to write that one down, Dr. Dyer, that we are like the most studied folks in the history of the world. We really are. I think you have a point on that one. So but we're gonna look at this because to me we've got to figure out what's really at the bottom of this. And I think that's what Cheryl was trying to do. I think that's what everybody's talking about. We got it, and it's already jumped out the gate with the lawsuits, and they are just flying.
They're
and
everywhere.
I'm looking at story after story on the internet, and then they got websites set up about get your cash now type thing, it's just all of this. So it's very deep.
We have to be careful of that lawsuit because there have been many people have been scammed by these lawsuits. That they say if you sign into this, I will help you get that.
Exactly.
And again, that's not always the case.
Dr. Dyer, thank you for saying that because that was the first thing I wanted to bring up. I saw it. I said, "Oh my gosh! I hope folks don't just go to these sites and stuff blindly and putting all their information in and not end up." And it's usually when they start these big class action suits and stuff, it's been more involved. Things are not so don't just think you're getting rich tomorrow and they're just going to I don't even know how to break it on down, folks, but please be careful and do your due diligence. And I just got to say, and Michael, you can jump on in too, because I know for all of us, we've grown up looking and for the moms in the kitchen. I remember moms doing, my nieces and them hair, and because I was too young to see, I guess, my older sisters and all them. But I know that that's how they did it, and straightening was all that they knew, because this is what society had put out. Society not only put it on you then, they put that on us still to this day. That this is, to get jobs or to keep jobs, to keep your job. Now they don't say that you won't be able to get the job or you might lose your job. They'll say, but they kind of channel that in order to keep your job, you kind of have to conform. And what's at the end of it is a whole system that's predicated on all of that. So they make money at every level, and then it's so involved that literally we'd be here talking just about that until maybe Monday morning. In how many ways?
So true, true, Kerry.
Yeah,
it's
so
it's just like, Kerry, just like in the military, and a lot of the African American females have to comply to military standards. And, it becomes a blurred line if they're trying to go au natural or wear braids or cornrows, any of that.